Welcome to All About Palm Springs. It's Modernism Week, Fall 2025, and if you didn't know that, well, I'm wearing the t-shirt to give you a kind of clue. Tens of thousands of people come from all over the world to Palm Springs for Modernism Week, and there's dozens of events celebrating mid-century modern, the lifestyle, the architecture, the homes, and everything about mid-century. And if you couldn't make it, but you wanted to come, don't worry, because I got you covered. I live here. I went to a whole bunch of events, and we filmed them, and that's what I'm going to be showing you in this video. I think you're really going to like what you see. We're going to go to Frank Sinatra's house, Twin Palms. If you haven't seen it, you're going to love it if you love mid-century. And on the other end of the spectrum, we're going to go to the Shag house. If you're not familiar with the artist Shag, you will be by the time I get to that in this video. And then we're going to go to a lot of just great mid-mod masterpieces in Deepwell Estates. We're going to see some homes in Indian Canyons, the Waterfall Icon house, the Sackley Chase Sensation. We're going to go to Tahquitz Canyon, see some post and beam houses. We're going to go to Sunrise and Little Beverly Hills. And you're going to really like what's in this video. You're going to love the tour. So come on with me. Let's go jump in the car and get going. We're here at Frank Sinatra's house in Palm Springs, and I'm going to take you on a tour inside, courtesy of Modernism Week, and I'm going to tell you about the history and everything else. And this is just one of my favorite properties, not just in Palm Springs, but about anywhere. And not just because Frank Sinatra lived here and had it built for him. It's just, this is where desert modernism started. It's really cool. Let's check it out. Come on, let's go inside. I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay, we're around here at the front of the house now, and check out that great circular driveway. And there's the very famous Twin Palms, which is why Frank Sinatra's home in Palm Springs is called Twin Palms Estate. And yes, that's a carport, not a garage. And check out those classic cars. Can't you just see Dino and Sammy Davis Jr. driving up to the house for some Rat Pack parties with Frank? Well, I sure can. Seriously, one thing I'm going to be pointing out here is some of the architectural features of these desert modern homes. And you see the, of course, floor-to-ceiling glass and the stacked stone going from the interior to the exterior. And then the colors and the palette to blend in with the Palm Springs landscaping. And there's an extension of one of those walls. And right there where that woman with the blue jacket is, that's where the front door was originally. Heading on around back, we see the really famous pool and that iconic walkway and the cabana house. And the walkway, those cutouts are supposed to be creating kind of like piano keys in the pool. Let me kind of zoom around to here and show you what that would look like. And let's take in a little bit more of that gorgeous backdrop and setting and the desert landscape. And over here you got a room I guess people could hop into for a quick cocktail after a dip in the pool. And let me kind of go around to the other side, and we'll see the house again real quickly. And those other rooms were, I guess, changing rooms where you change into your bathing suit. And man, if those walls could talk, baby. So speaking of walls, here you see the stacked stone from the interior to the exterior. Again, the iconic walkway and the famous pool. And off to the right was Frank Sinatra's bedroom and the fireplace. And I don't think that was his real bed. One of the things you'll see here, which I really like other than the clear story windows, is the wooden ceilings. And you also see the wooden ceilings in the living room. And speaking of the living room and those Rat Pack parties, that was actually Frank's music equipment that actually was used, that was original. I love this scene here in this corner of the house because you see all of the architectural elements of Frank Sinatra's house come together at once. You see the wood ceilings, as I mentioned, and it's stained a different color of the wood on the interior and the exterior. Then you see the steel, the glass, the stone, and you know, it's just amazing to me. In fact, I could just do a whole video about this house and talk about it all day. And yeah, that living room again with the piano. I mean, that's like huge for the time it was built. There's a fireplace you can't see over under that painting there. But I'm going to do a whole video about Frank Sinatra's house that I'll post separately. It might be posted by the time you watch this, it might not. And for the full Sinatra effect, head over to Melvin's for a cocktail after you visit Frank's house. And if you're enjoying this video and you want to keep up with everything all about Palm Springs, whether it's Modernism Week or other events, or learn more about the neighborhoods or just the history and the architecture, anything mid-mod, just hit that subscribe button. Okay, our next stop on the Modernism Week tour is going to be in the Indian Canyons neighborhood in South Palm Springs. And actually, of the 7 homes we're going to see on this tour, 2 of them are going to be in the Indian Canyons neighborhood. We'll come back to the other one next. If you're not familiar with the Indian Canyons neighborhood, a lot of it was built around a golf course, and this particular house is known as the Waterfall House for obvious reasons. You just saw the waterfall, and it has a front-loaded pool, which is really cool. And I just always have to zoom in on those mountains. And coming back here to the waterfall, you see the same thing I said about Frank Sinatra's house, that the textures blend in with the desert landscape and the mountains and everything. And let's kind of head inside to this one. This one, it is considered mid-century modern, but a little bit later in the era. And so this was built more like in the 60s, and it almost has like a Hollywood Regency feel, the way the finish work is, and a little bit more luxurious. It's larger for sure. It's, I think, about 4,500 square feet. And as we're going to see with many of the homes on this tour, it's also being used as a short-term rental. You might find it on Airbnb. I think they call it the Icon House or something. Maybe they still call it the Waterfall House. Has one of my favorite 60s features, the step-down living room. And you see there's a big piano there. And this house is situated so you can see the mountains. I'm actually sitting on the couch at the far end of the house when I just did that zoom into the mountains. And again, a little bit different kind of finish work, a little bit more glossy and kind of, I don't know what to say. You expect to see someone sipping a cocktail with pajamas on or something. I don't know. But you either like this style or you don't. But the bones of the house are great. I'd probably furnish it a little bit differently. One of the things, because this house was built after some of the typical mid-century Palmer Kreisel houses I show, and Meiselman's and Wexner's, is that the kitchen is larger, and you have actually this kind of dining area now, but I don't think that was the original dining area. I'm going to show you that later. Here is what we call these days the primary bedroom, and this primary suite is actually probably larger than some of the smaller, less than 1,000 square feet houses I've sold in LA over the years. Good giveaway that a property is being used for short-term rentals. No, it's not the high ceilings or clear-story windows, which you have here in abundance. But when you see the twin beds with the headboard going beyond both of them, and then the wallpaper behind the headboard's like a very common design feature used right now. Yeah, hey, how you doing? There's Frank's picture up there. And I think the area I'm sitting in, which is right outside of the sunken living room, I'm going to guess that was originally more of a formal dining room. So this house is large, about 4,500 square feet. And yeah, you have the clerestory windows and the high ceilings and whatever throughout. And now we're going to head to a place with a little bit lower ceilings. We're over here in Deepwell Estates on the Modernism Week tour. Love to see those mountains. Always have to zoom in on them. I just love the mountains here in the backdrop and the palm trees. This place, gorgeous. I guess that's why I live here. This is a post and beam kind of house, a little bit more typical mid-century. And again, this one is being used as short-term rental. So curiously, a lot of the homes on this part of the Modernism Week tour are properties people are using for short-term rentals. And I guess what better way to get business, have people come who are doing the tour, and then they say, yeah, I like that place. Maybe if I come back to Palm Springs, I'll look that one up on Airbnb. Post and beam, you do see the beams extending outside of the house. Let's go inside, take a look at one of the bedrooms. This one is not the primary bedroom, but you see the wallpaper behind the headboard. And let's see if we can head on over to the primary bedroom, much larger. Again, you see the beams painted a different color, which I don't always like that effect, but I think it really, really, really works here. This bedroom is quite large. I don't know if it was added on at one point or not.
Of course, sliders going to the exterior. And I'm going to guess this bathroom may have been added on. Not sure, but a lot of times you'll see in Palm Springs the sliders to the exterior. Living room, the beams, mid-century modern furniture. This one has a slight step down. And the fireplace. I want to talk about that fireplace. So I guess in the TV show The Brady Bunch, which I never really watched, there was some kind of fireplace in that house, and one of the kids was named Marcia. So this one is called Marcia or something like that on Airbnb. You always have to name your short-term rentals if you want to get people to find them. I love the two-sided fireplace. Definitely a feature of mid-century modern homes. Let me kind of zoom around to the other side, and yeah, you can see two-sided stone, original. Probably best not to light it with that basket off to the right there. And this one also, kitchen's a little bit larger. There's that same fixture. Kitchen a little bit larger than you're going to see in maybe some of the original Palmer and Kreisel Alexanders. And again, really, updated for contemporary living. Pretty cool. So hope you're enjoying this. You have notice the carport, of course. And I'm going to head on to the next stop, and I'm going to tell you that I run into one of my subscribers who recognizes me from my voice.
Hi,
Oh,
I'm
hi.
Kathy.
Kathy, nice to meet
I
you.
recognize your voice because I watched your video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we live in Colorado.
Wow.
And we're snowbirds.
Oh, okay.
We want to be snowbirds.
Ah.
And so I watch your videos so that we'll know all about Palm Springs.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for watching the videos. I appreciate that, and without people supporting it, I wouldn't be out there doing it. So I just appreciate people watching it, and
It's great.
yeah.
It gives us so much information, and you have a very distinct voice. So I
that,
love
that I hear. People recognize me. Well, I'll tell you and my audience. So for a lot of years, I really didn't like my voice. People love my voice. I wish I knew that 20 or 30 years ago.
I heard it, and I knew it was you.
Yeah, and it's I guess people tell me it's authentic when they meet me in person. They go, yeah, you're exactly like that guy in the videos, which I am.
That's
So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I hope you're enjoying
So
this
nice to meet you.
fall or 2025 here in Palm Springs.
Yes.
And
Love
yeah,
it.
we'll continue on the tour.
Yes,
Thanks so
yeah.
much, Kathy.
All right. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Bye.
Always great to be recognized. Anyway, our next stop is in Racquet Club Estates, and an event being put on by the Atomic Ranch. Check them out if you're into mid-modern, mid-century. This one was an original Kreisel that was built by the Alexander Company, and I would say updated and remodeled. However, the owner and the contractor are going to say remastered, which is really probably a good way to describe it, and it's just really extraordinary. One of the nicest examples I've seen of this being done to an original Alexander. And of course, you see the clerestory windows and the views and the floor-to-ceiling glass. And I really like what they did with the wood doors here. Let's kind of go into the bedrooms before the Atomic Ranch people start their tour. And I like the wood on the doors, as I said. One of the things about the original mid-centuries is the bedrooms weren't that large. Of course, you have the sliders to the outside. We're going to go outside, hang in there with me. And you have an ensuite bathroom in this one. So as I was mentioning, with the bedrooms not being that large, you just don't see dressers. You'll see maybe nightstands. And here's an example of someone did something clever where the nightstand's kind of incorporated into the headboard, which is really cool. Really good taste in their furnishings here. So let's head outside, and great yard. And we're going to go around the other side of the pool where Tom, hey, dude, don't fall in there, don't fall in. Okay, we're going to head around to the other side of the pool here where we're going to sit while Atomic Ranch does their pitch. And this one is not a short-term rental. The owner uses it with her family for a vacation property, which is just really kind of great. And I'm going to kind of sit here, and that's where they're going to be speaking from, and they're going to start shortly. But before they do, thanks for watching this video so far. And if we haven't met before, either in person or here on YouTube,
My name is Ellis Posner. I'm a Palm Springs real estate broker, so I'm not out doing these videos. I'm helping people buy homes in Palm Springs. If you're thinking of buying a home, whether it's this year, next year, this week, next week, 5 years from now, just feel free to reach out and contact me. My contact info is all over the channel. I will get back to you. I promise that. And let's get back to the tour.
Okay, so thanks for listening to my pitch, and let's get back to Atomic Ranch and hear what they have to say about this property.
Today, welcome to Modernism Week Fall Preview. Day one. Thank you so much for coming and joining us. I'm Jiggy Torres, the editor of Atomic Ranch magazine. I have with us here on our panel Miss Heather Cohen, the homeowner and interior designer of this home. Thank you, Heather, so much for letting us come in. Thank you so much, Jordan. And we've got Stephen Shields of Shields Residential. I'm so excited to talk about your house today. Let's start off with a little bit of just the background. Tell us a little bit about this neighborhood that we're in.
I want to say thank you so much for coming. It's a deeply personal project, obviously, for me, as it's our family vacation home. And we had so much fun doing this project and working, collaborating with Steve and his team. And so we're just really excited that everyone is so excited to be here, and we're really grateful you came. So what led us to this neighborhood, Racquet Club originally was actually started in the 1940s. There was a racquet club that had a pool house and a tennis courts, and so it became kind of a hot spot for celebrities. What we've learned as we've had a home in this neighborhood, and then in the 1950s and 60s, actually, Kreisel, who's the architect, and Alexander, who's the build company, they did about 550 homes, like you'll see in this neighborhood, Racquet Club Estates. And what's lovely about this neighborhood is all the varying roof lines and elevations, and it really became a destination for LA people, which is what it really is today too, an escape for people. Interestingly, these homes originally sold for $19,000. We did not buy it for $19,000, unfortunately. But they really modeled it to be an escape, a vacation, an oasis, and I think people still really resonate with that today.
We almost bought the house across the way, which is the Steve McQueen house, right?
We did. You were so good, because we just talked about this, and look at her bringing it. Yeah, we actually did put in an offer in the McQueen home, and which is like two houses down. It's the one with the rocks in the front. It's a very funky home, and I had a lot of design visions for that as well.
You had a different house
and then this one, actually, my friend knew we were looking, and it happened to be, and it was sold and then went back on the market, and she was like, hey, this house looks like it's something you're looking for, and we actually bought it, or put in an offer sight unseen with our realtor, who was amazing. And we just loved the bones. I mean, how could you not? Loved the windows, the clear stories, and we've obviously done some things to it, but we really fell in love with the architecture.
So tell us about sort of the state of the house when you first found it.
Steve and I were chatting about this a little. It was already renovated, and it was, it was supposed to be turnkey. But it looks very different than when we purchased it. If you look at the red fin of the address, you'll see how much has changed.
I believe it said it was meticulously remodeled and restored.
Yes.
A designer showcase dream.
Oh yes.
That's what it said on the listing when you purchased it.
Yeah. And we loved the bones. Again, we loved the roof line, but and Steve and I will chat about this. What we call pool house bar and this guest bedroom and bathroom were actually the garage. So we definitely did some changes, made some pretty big changes, expanded the footprint. But it wasn't in its original form when we bought it too. So, these original homes had a carport, which again, it was already in the garage. And a lot of the originals have the breezeway, where our kitchen currently is outdoors usually. So it had already had some changes to the original square footage, which was like 1225 square feet. It was 1,400 when we bought it.
You need to do a lot of work to it. And then you found Steve, who is an expert, has been an expert for very many years here in the Coachella Valley for remastering these mid-century homes. So Steve, tell us a little bit more about the work that you do, and then tell us your take on the state of the house when you first saw it.
Thank you very much. We do like to call it remastering rather than remodeling or even restoring.
Okay, I'm going to let Atomic Ranch continue on with their presentation, and I'm going to be doing another video about Racquet Club. I'm going to be doing more about Atomic Ranch, but we got to continue on with the Modernism Week tour. I've got 3 more homes to show you, including the Shag house, which I think you're really going to love. But before we get there, let's do the Sackley Chase Sensation. Okay, we're going to see the Sackley Chase Sensation here in South Palm Springs on the Modernism Week tour, and I think you're really going to like this one. So let's head on inside, but first check out this classic Mercedes-Benz SL. When the top is on, they call it a pagoda top, and these are from the late 60s. This one is in exceptional shape, as would be expected from the owner of this home. And man, I really wanted one of these when I was young, but by the time I was making enough money to buy one, the 560 SLs were out. But you're not watching this video to hear me talk about cars. You talk about cars all day, as well as real estate. Let's get back to the tour. So this is called the Sackley Chase Sensation. Sackley was the architect, and he's not as well known as some of the other famous names, but the work he did was really stupendous. A lot of it was right here in South Palm Springs, and Chase was an interior designer, and this particular home is owned by the owners of Grace Home Furnishings, and it's decorated in their signature style. My camera was bouncing around, so I'm going to show you some still photos for a couple of slides here. We'll get back to video. And just really everywhere you look, there's some kind of incredible detail, either in the furnishings or the actual architecture and the bones of the house. And speaking of the bones of the house, I love this pool in the courtyard. Yes, another waterfall, or water feature, I guess we could call it. And that is a mirror back there. And I've never seen a mirror more spotless, and that's pretty incredible. And a lot of privacy in this pool. Just a great setting, but there's even a better setting in this house, which I'm going to show you in a second. Just let's kind of take this in while I kind of catch my breath on the narration and voiceover. And we're going to head around to the other side of the house. Come on, Ellis, let's get to the other side of the house. No, not this side. Yep, there I am. Hi. Okay, we're going to head around. I want to show you the back of this house, because it does sit on a golf course down here in Indian Canyon. So that's not a real live horse. And it's just a great golf course setting. I'm not usually pretty big on golf course settings, but man, if I wanted to live on a golf course, you just can't beat this. And as one of my clients recently said, it's great to be able to look out and see a lot of green that you don't have to water or cut. I'm all for that. And of course, you see the mountains facing off to the west there and the golf course. And I mean, this could not be a more perfect Palm Springs setting. I'm really glad they included it on the tour, and I'm really glad I get the opportunity to show this one to you. And if you're not familiar with Grace Home Furnishings, actually I bought some pieces there and some artwork, and my house doesn't have this kind of vibe, but there I am with the owner. Really great guy, and you should stop in and see their store. And I just had to get one more selfie with that car. And speaking of cars, check out this Oldsmobile Starfire convertible. These were made, I think, in the very early 60s, 61 to maybe 65 or 66. White walls, chrome, diamond in the back, red interior. I actually learned to drive in an Oldsmobile. My father had a really old Oldsmobile. And okay, I'm getting off on cars again. There's my white Audi over there. Let's head into this house, which also has a front-loaded pool. Right now, on the Modernism Week tour, we are just, this one's on Mesquite, just west of Prescott and a little bit north of Deepwell Estates, and really cool house, front-loaded pool, as I said. And I really like what they did with the interior here. Really nice and wide open. I don't know if that's the original kitchen or it was expanded, but it's very, very apropos for contemporary living, as is all this open space here. And, you know, a lot of these houses from this era may have had lower ceilings. This ceiling's really great. Oop, I think I see a Shag painting there, and we're going to the Shag house next. Yeah, good dining area there right off of the kitchen. And I love the breeze blocks inside. Again, you see the clear story windows, the high ceilings, all these elements of mid-mod that make these homes so endearing, warm, desirable, why people want to see them, and if they're lucky enough to own one, and I can help you with that. Here's a scene of that breezeway from the other side, the breeze block, I should say. Oh, I'm so surprised. There's wallpaper behind the headboard. Yeah, I keep talking about that. And let's head on over into their primary bedroom, and let's see if we're going to see that same thing again. You notice the sliders to the outside on the left, and yep, there we go, the wallpaper behind the bedroom. This one they also were using as a short-term rental. Maybe you could find it on Airbnb. And gonna go back out through the bathroom, and yeah, they got that same. We've seen that same fixture in a lot of homes on the tour. And again, a lot of the houses in Palm Springs have an entrance from the bathroom to the outside because you're in the pool. You want to come in, rinse off. You don't want to walk through the house. Again, pool here. As in many of the homes, the pool is found on the west side of the house. And yeah, I just got to stand in front of the car again. Sorry, I'm a car guy, you know. And after this, we are going to head off to the Shag house. And if you're not familiar with Shag, the artist Josh Agel, I'm going to take you over to his gallery and store after we tour the Shag house. The Shag house is located in South Palm Springs and Little Beverly Hills.
Okay, we're here at the Shag house. Like, how cool is that? Let's ring the doorbell and see if he's home and go inside.
He's like, I don't know, let's ask. So we finally got up the nerve in November of 2019 to ask Mr. Agel if he would do the project. We're all nervous, and we had a pitch deck. And 2 minutes in the conversation, he said, sure, sounds like a fun idea. I'm like, what? That's it? So that's all started back in 2019. We bought the house I bought the house in 21 when we started construction. Took about 2.5 years. We finished in October of 23. And then we launched it publicly in February of 24 for Modernism Week. But I really wanted him to have carte blanche to do whatever he wanted in the house and be a blank canvas. So I hope you guys enjoy it. It's an amazing living piece of art done by the artist Shag. All right. Without further ado, it's too hot out here. Come on in. Welcome to the Shag house.
Thank you. Oh, Shag.
Shag, welcome.
So the vibe here is definitely mid-century with a heavy dose of tiki and artistic license, so to speak. And this is supposed to have the vibe of living inside of a Shag painting, which that's kind of really cool. Hey, I have the same couch, but mine is an orange background. Anyway, I'm going to let Shag tell the story of what makes this house so unique and some of what he did here. But before we get to that, let's just kind of mull around and see a little bit more of the scene. And okay, here comes Shag.
The house was a 1958 Alexander. It had gone through a couple redos when we found it. It was sort of a southwestern Pueblo style when we got it. So it had red tile flooring and those kind of peeled logs. So we felt like it had already gone through some changes. We didn't have to bring it back to its original. We could use it as a blank canvas and do whatever we wanted.
And yeah, that is like a blank canvas and doing whatever they wanted. And when I show you Shag's gallery and store later, if you're not familiar with his work, then you'll kind of get the sense of what I'm talking about here. But this place is really cool. When you're in it, it doesn't quite feel as overdone as it might look here. And again, this was an original Alexander, as Shag said, that had over the years been expanded and added on to, which makes them a lot more useful. Other than the ones in Twin Palms Estates, which are around 1,600 square feet, a lot of the original Alexanders from the mid-century era were about 1,200 square feet. And yeah, you're in the Shag house, you're going to have a drink, and you're going to be partying, and you're going to have like the vibe here, right? You got the vibe going on. Got the sunglasses. All right, this is cool. I really like what they did in the ceiling there with that drop down. And I think, these drinks actually were pretty good. It was complimentary to the visitors. And I even had to like kind of step outside and have a drink, even though I was driving. Just don't tell anyone. And yeah, here I am having that drink. So outside here, that's like kind of an outside room. And here's the rest of the backyard. Just really, you got everything going on here. You got the Baja Lounge in the pool. You got the Buddha. You got ping pong table off in the distance there. You got the ceiling fans. One's black, two are white. You got outdoor bed. You know, those hot nights you may want to sleep outside. And again, the pool. That was the outdoor room off to the very top of the screen there. And then you, of course, got the spa. And behind that cinder block wall, there was actually a shower. So when you come out of the spa, you can just jump in there and shower off. And yeah, this is just like really, really, really cool if you're into this kind of thing. And I am. I'm not sure if, I think they may use this house for some events. Shag said that they had a wedding or are going to have a wedding here. I asked if we could renew our vows. And there I am with the artist Shag and a friend of mine. And here we are in the gallery. That's one of my favorite pieces off to the left there. And this was when he brought out his Illuminaire house piece. And there's a video on this channel about Frey's Illuminaire house. One of my favorite on the right, the Rat Pack. There's Sammy, Frankie, and Dino. And there's the Illuminaire house. And of course, there you got some merchandise when you're over at Shag's store, which is on Palm Canyon Drive, Illuminaire house there to the right, merch to the left. And when he has a new piece, he very nicely has a party and free drinks. And the Martini Kings, they've definitely got the vibe. They play some, their jazz band. And yeah, I think they were playing Take 5 right there. And there's one of my favorite pieces up to the left there, which is Blue Note, like the record label. And so thank you for watching this video. We toured 7 homes in Palm Springs, mid-century modern on the Modernism Week tour. And I'm going to be posting more Modernism Week tours in the future. I've posted some in the past. And I'm always posting about Palm Springs real estate, things to do in Palm Springs, events going on, living in Palm Springs. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. And I just hope you really enjoy these as much as I enjoy making them. So all about Palm Springs. So if we haven't met before, either in person or here on YouTube, my name is Ellis Posner. I'm a real estate agent, or more precisely, a real estate broker in Palm Springs. I've been selling real estate in Southern California for multiple decades, and I work with buyers and sellers in all price ranges. And if you see me driving without holding the steering wheel, I'm in a quiet residential neighborhood here, Racquet Club Estates. A lot of my clients and people that watch this channel are from all over California, all over the U.S., and all over the world. And if you're not local, but you want to buy a home in Palm Springs, I got you covered. So my contact info is all over the channel. Feel free to reach out, and I'd love to speak with you about buying a home in Palm Springs.